This started as a writing challenge that someone set on Reddit, but it slowly evolved into the kernel that would grow into the pitch. My idea was, why not pull a Flashpoint? Have Samus explore a Chozo ruin and find a time-traveling Aeon ability under heavy guard. She uses it to travel back in time, kill Ridley, and save her parents. Here's how I would let that play out. Open the game with a boss fight, Samus versus Ridley. As soon as Ridley dies, fade to black. Samus wakes up in her home on the colony with her family, but aged up to her modern self. She is awoken by a younger sibling, which we're going to name Ellen. She's very confused, remembering the old timeline, but also just overwhelmed with flashes of memories from this timeline. The last thing she remembers is exploring a new Chozo ruins, and Adam telling her to be careful. Having her explore the colony a bit, armed with a stun pistol, Ellen plays a game with her, having her explore the map, fighting weak monsters, and providing a light tutorial. Upon completing the small map, and the procurement of the reflect ability from Dread, the colony is attacked by the Federation. Without the threat of the space pirates, they have become the Scourge of the galaxy, at war with the Chozo. Instead of allying with Ridley, Mother Brain allied and corrupted the Federation instead. Samus takes out a squad of soldiers and then steals a Federation power suit. They also take a spaceship and head for Zebes. Samus is let in by the Chozo and meets with Quiet Robe personally. He explains that the Aeon abilities have been stolen by a dark figure who turns out to be Dark Samus. Samus postulates that Dark Samus must have time traveled to the past, somehow changing history. She knows she cannot face Dark Samus as she is, so she asks the Chozo to help her. She travels the map, unlocking genetic upgrades slowly, regaining her traditional power suit. Along the way, she is tested by guardians who are callbacks to Super Metroid bosses. The final encounter is with Kraid. After unlocking her real power suit, Zebes is attacked by Metroids, and Samus must escape to pursue Dark Samus. While she's getting stronger, she does not have the Ice Beam yet and cannot kill Metroids. Only Quiet Robe and Samus' family survive the attack and flee. Throughout the game so far, Samus' family has been filling the role of Adam as her radio companions. Samus' parents are shocked by her sudden shift in priorities, being seemingly a different person than the one she was when the Federation attacked from their perspective. Ellen is supportive of her efforts, but as she continues to drive toward her goal of finding Dark Samus, tensions escalate between the girls and their parents. With a sudden influx of Metroids, Quiet Robe suspects something has gone horribly wrong in SR-388, and the group heads there next. Samus goes through the caverns of SR-388, unlocking the Ice Beam, making it possible for her to take on the Metroids as well as the Varia suit, so she can handle the planet's acid and lava traps and terrain. At first, the Metroid counter only shows one Metroid, the Queen, but as Samus explores the planet, the counter starts to climb. Quiet Robe surmises that all the Metroids must have recently been harvested by Mother Brain and the Federation. She fights and kills the Queen Metroid, but on her way out is distracted by a destroyed Metroid egg. While she reminisces about the baby from the other timeline, she is attacked by an X-Parasite and falls unconscious. When she wakes on her ship, Quiet Robe was able to administer a Metroid vaccine that saved her life and transformed her once again to a being with Metroid DNA. When Samus asks where the power suit is, Quiet Robe explains that he was able to remove it before it was taken over by the X-Parasites. He combined it with her suit in her current state, which gives her the various suit abilities, and modified the Ice Beam into ice missiles. The group is in disagreement as to what to do next. Ellen and Samus want to return to Zebes and destroy Mother Brain. Samus' parents and Quiet Robe against this, seeing it as a fool's errand. Samus' parents are growing more concerned that they are losing their daughter more and more to this quest. Quiet Robe wants to seek out allies, mainly Ravenbeak, who leads the last remnant of the resistance to the Federation on ZDR. Samus does not trust Ravenbeak because of her previous experience, but Quiet Robe insists. When the group arrives on ZDR, they find it in ruins covered in Metroids. They pick up a distress signal from the downed ship. Samus goes to rescue survivors. Samus' parents receive a mysterious transmission after she leaves that they do not share with Quiet Robe or Ellen. Upon leaving the ship, the Metroid counter comes back, displaying the total number of Metroids on the map. Samus works her way through the planet, picking up the plasma beam. She enters the crashed ship and the distress call and finds Phantoon. After the battle, she collects the gravity suit and returns to her own ship. On the way, she receives word from Ellen that Ravenbeak has taken their parents, but Quiet Robe managed to protect her, but is gravely injured. Samus returns to the ship. Ravenbeak was a part of Mother Brain's plan all along. He lured Samus here to kill her, and when failed, he implemented his backup plan. Having kidnapped Samus' parents, who believed he was trying to help, he has fled Zebes and is calling Samus out for a showdown. Quiet Robe dies after Samus reunites with Ellen, and the two sisters head to face Ravenbeak together. Ellen and Samus return to Zebes, and Samus works her way to Ravenbeak, who is now waiting in Norfair. She can pick up the speed booster along the way. Upon entering the boss room, instead of Ravenbeak, Dark Samus will appear. The Dark Samus fight will feature a Time Aeon ability. Samus will have to fight him and the clock to win. When she wins, she will unlock the Time Aeon ability for herself and the Metroid suit. Dark Samus will be revealed to be Ravenbeak all along, and will claim that he has no idea what Samus is talking about pertaining to traveling through time to change everything. The Time Aeon ability will only just have been finished by Mother Brain and is not fully charged. It would take an enormous power source to travel a significant amount of time into the past, and in its current state can only travel at most minutes. Samus is confused, but before she can question Ravenbeak more, an Omega Metroid will appear for the first time in the game, kill Ravenbeak with a jump scare, and disappear. Samus will find her parents in the adjoining room and will tell them to meet Ellie at the ship while she pursues the Omega. Samus races after the Metroid, trying to kill it before it reaches Ellen in the ship. It tears through the map in a sort of reverse escape sequence. Samus has to outrun the Omega to cut it off and fight it. She finally confronts it in a boss room and defeats it, revealing a hidden room with the screw attack. Samus reunites with her family and goes back to the ship. Upon leaving the planet, they are surprised by a Federation ship and boarded. Samus stands ready to face the boarding party when she is shocked that it's led by an alive and well Adam Malkovich. Adam reveals that with the destruction of the Chozo, Mother Brain gained full control of the Metroids and turned on the Federation. She's been wiping out all life by seeding Metroids using Federation ships throughout the known galaxy. In the last few days, most of the population of the Federation has perished. Adam leads the remaining military, only a single ship against Mother Brain. Adam reveals that Mother Brain is on Samus' home colony, K2L. Samus tries to leave her family with Adam, but Ellen, ever resourceful, sneaks onto Samus' ship and goes with her to fight Mother Brain. With an all-new map to explore, the Metroid counter breaks when Samus lands and she tells Ellen to take the ship back in orbit and wait for her. Metroids of all types are everywhere, and all of them are intent on ending Samus. She fights the gauntlet to Mother Brain. Upon reaching her, Mother Brain, instead of fighting, invites her in. She reveals that due to her superior intellect, she has puzzled out what has happened. Samus, not Dark Samus, is responsible for changing the timeline and making Mother Brain's victory all but assured. Even if Mother Brain is destroyed by Samus, Samus cannot stop what has already been set in motion. Mother Brain will succeed in wiping out all life in the universe through her proxies on the Federation ships and her hordes of Metroids. It's pointless to resist, as the only way to stop her is to fully charge the Aeon Time ability and go back in time and stop herself from killing Ridley. The only way to save the universe is to sacrifice her parents and her sister's existence. Stunned, Mother Brain attacks, bringing Samus to her knees. Before the killing blow can be struck, Ellen flies the gunship in, attacking Mother Brain, firing lasers and ramming the gunship into her. Samus, delirious, sees the gunship crash into Mother Brain and flashes back to the baby's sacrifice. She lunges forward and drains the energy from Mother Brain with her Metroid powers and stands to face her now with the Hyper Beam. But this time, Mother Brain is even more powerful than Super Metroid and puts up a stiff fight. After the battle, Samus grieves the loss of Ellen, only to realize that she ejected at the last second and is still alive. Ellen and her embrace, and Ellen explains she overheard everything and encourages Samus to save everyone, pointing out that Mother Brain's energy fully charge the Aeon time ability, and an alarm goes off. Samus reactivates her suit, and the Metroid counter continues to climb. Ellen opens the Aeon controls on Samus's arm and activates the time ability while Samus is distracted. Samus realizes too late what Ellie has done and watches her sister disappear with the world around her right in front of her very eyes. Samus wakes up on K2L. She checks the Metroid counter. 0. She hears an explosion. She sees herself at the height of her power at the end of Metroid Dread battling Ridley. She stands there watching the battle, clenching her fist. She screams in frustration and rushes to the battle. She kicks Ridley to the side and stands before herself. Wordlessly, the final battle begins. During the battle, Ridley swoops in and out, complicating things. Both of their attacks deal damage to him. Samus has to defeat herself while protecting an uncooperative and actively attacking Ridley. Ripley swoops in to finish both Samus and the Samus from the past. Samus from the past activates the Aeon ability one more time. She wakes up on her gunship, shakes her head. Was it a dream? Adam speaks. Samus, there is an anomalous message recorded on your power suit. The credits roll as a recording from Ellen plays. She ends the message by telling Samus not to be afraid and that she's proud of her. You could flesh out other elements of the story, as this is just a first draft, but I think that this would be an interesting way to revisit all the highlights of Samus's career so far and explore what might have been if Ridley had not destroyed the colony that she was on. I don't know, it just seemed like an interesting way to reintroduce Ridley to the franchise through time travel without, cloning and all that sort of stuff, and create a parallel world where Samus could have had everything that she wanted, but it would have been lost no matter what. So bring some closure to the trauma in her life, realizing that the history that she could have had would have ended more disastrously than the one that she actually does have. So, I don't know, I just thought it was an interesting idea. It meets the criteria of the writing challenge, and like I said, would allow us to have multiple world maps and to revisit areas that we've already been in smaller orders in the franchise. So, that's my pitch for Metroid 6. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.